let me ask you to put a chart out here. I is just I squared we already found is equal to a negative 1. I to the third would be the same thing as if I multiplied this times that, or, looking at it a different way, this times that. Well, you multiply those together, you get a negative I, because negative 1 times anything makes it negative. How about I to the fourth? I to the fourth is going to be the same thing as saying I squared times itself. I squared times I squared. Well, if you do that, it's the same thing as saying this times itself. And a negative 1 times a negative 1 is going to be a positive 1. And what you'll see now is when you go on beyond that, I to the fifth, I to the sixth, and so on, you're going to see a pattern repeat. That's equal to I. I to the sixth is the same thing as saying I to the fifth times, I to the fifth, which is 1, times another I. So the pattern is going to repeat every 4. I to the seventh is negative I, and I to the eighth is equal to positive 1. So every 4 times the pattern is going to be the same. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to when we go through this. Be careful, because you're squaring two things when you square something like this. That's a single term, but it's a product. So you can just square that and square that separately. You've got 6, which is unaffected by the square, times a positive 4, but now an I squared. Remember, I squared is negative 1. So you've got 6 times 4, which is 24, times negative 1, negative 24. This, and I'm doing work down below because it doesn't require much space, 6I squared. 6 because the 2 times the 3, and the I squared because I times I, so it's a negative 6. Okay. This is squared. Perform that operation first. 4I squared. Might be appropriate just to go ahead and deal with that right now. That's a negative 1. Okay? But you got it times 4 and then times a negative 5i. Well, the negatives cancel, so the 1's really inconsequential now. But now you just got 4 times 5, so that's 20, and you still have an I left over. Remember, I is not equal to negative 1. You have to square it to make it negative 1. Well, I to the fourth, we already did that. That's a positive 1. And so what I might consider doing here is, since you know I squared and I to the fourth, I squared is negative 1, I to the fourth is positive 1, the answer is negative 1. And finally over here, you got negative 27, I to the third power. If you look at our chart, I to the third is negative 1, or negative I. So you've got negative 27 times negative I, that's just a positive 27.